in my opinion, once you do customer experience the right way, it should not be about having friction points. It should be
Mm-hmm.
about having a seamless experience.
Customer experience wisdom, a dash of travel talk. We've been cleared for takeoff.
The best meals are served outside and require a passport.
Welcome back, CX Passport listeners. Today we get to welcome Luis Carrillo. Luis brings 24 years of a record across CX with an experience in analytics, contact center leadership, training, and quality in industries as wide-ranging as retail, nonprofit, subscription, and e-commerce. And he's our next CX Passport Open to Work guest. So here's the CX Passport audience's chance to help accelerate his path to that next great opportunity. Across his career, Luis has shaped customer experience efforts in all kinds of environments, which gives him a practical, adaptable approach to solving problems. He's ready to bring that mix of skills and perspective to a new role. Luis, welcome to CX Passport.
Thank you, Rick. It's a pleasure having being here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and folks, it's weird. I'm in Texas. Luis is in Southern California, and we're both really chilly today. And it's very odd for that to be the case. You wouldn't expect that. Luis, I'm curious, what is it that draws you to customer experience? Why is this world important to you?
Oh, I love it. I've always loved helping people, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And CX kind of gave me that way to do it at scale. I enjoy fixing kind of messy problems and making things easier for customers and teams. It's one of the spaces where you can see the impact immediately. Um, in my opinion, when you improve the experience, the customer feels it, the team feels it that works with you, and the business feels it. And honestly, I've always believed customers deserve better, right? Great service builds trust, in my opinion. And when brands get that right, everything else becomes simpler.
Yeah. Ooh, I was listening to the first part, but then you hit it right at the end. Everything gets simpler. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, in my opinion, once you do customer experience the right way, it should not be about having friction points, about making the experience harder to navigate. It should be
Mm-hmm.
about having a seamless experience in whatever industry you're in, whether it is retail, whether it's sales, whether it is nonprofit, financial industry, whatever it is. It's about making the experience simpler all the time.
I just want to sit on that for a second. Well, okay. Let's talk about that. If you feel that way, that gives me the sense that you have done this for customers in the past. So, how have you created an experience that your customers wanted in the past?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So at one of my companies, um, you know, that is about sales, e-commerce, subscription base, you have to listen to the customers closely. You have to listen to what they're telling you, not just assume what they want, because we can all assume all day, but you have to really listen with intention. And I use data kind of like, in social listening to real conversations to kind of redesign flows and reduce the effort for them. Little things like simplifying returns or tightening our productive comms made a
Mm-hmm.
huge difference, to be honest with you. I also invested heavily in training. Training, coaching, and QA are so underrated, but they are the backbone to make sure that your agents could show up
Mm-hmm.
with confidence and empathy. When your frontline feels supported, in my opinion, they deliver the kind of experience the customers remember.
You said you made returns simpler.
Hmm.
And I guess I'm feeling that a little bit right now as I engage with one particular e-commerce firm that will not be named, and has now been fired from any of my merch production work that I do with my business. And it came down to their approach to returns. How did you make it easier in your past?
Yeah, I think it's about creating, like I said, a simple experience.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I a lot of businesses look at um, doing the putting a lot of friction around the returns for
Mm-hmm.
obvious reasons, right? Losses, and into the entire revenue cycle. But to me, you have to treat the customer different, and you have to show that you value the customer. You have to build fraud detections as a one-off, not to the everyday member. When you
Mm-hmm.
treat it like that, when you put um, the right measurements from a fraud detection on the one-offs and not for everybody, then you'll be able to simplify the returns. You need to trust your clients. It's as easy as that. So that's the way that I've always been approached is build your fraud and retention process around the one-offs, not the everyday member.
This is your captain speaking. I want to thank you for listening to CX Passport today. We've now reached our cruising altitude, so I'll turn that seatbelt sign off. While you're getting comfortable, hit that follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast app so you'll never miss an episode. Love it if you'd tell a friend about CX Passport, leave a review so others can discover the show as well. Now, sit back and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Oh, yeah. And that, I imagine that took work right there because I may be overstating this. Yeah, well, I'm a Texan, I exaggerate, but it's kind of lazy to implement it for all. Whereas to find the one-offs and actually put some thought into what does it actually look like to be the fraud and the one-off process for that. There's a lot of operational work in what what you're talking about there. And earlier, when you said, valuing training, QA, and all that, those are operations elements. How have you woven what a lot of folks, and I'm one of them, a business process background, that's the inside out, with the outside in of a customer approach? How do you weave those together successfully?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it comes down to listening to what the customer really wants or what they're looking for.
Hmm.
If you don't listen intently, as I said before, you're just guessing what they're
Hmm.
looking at, what they want.
Right.
Um, Looking at what they're really saying. Where are the pain points? Where are they getting frustrated? Is it at returns, right? In your experience, it was a returns, right?
Hmm.
If we listen more to what the customers are telling us and less of what we assume the customer wants, that's where I think it is the line of making it simpler, and putting a lot of, like you said, a lot of processes, but the processes are there to help the customer, or should be there to help the customer,
Right.
not to put friction into it.
Yeah, something that we always would say in the process world, it was usually more internally focused. But if the customer would pay for this process step, then it's a value add. If it is a something that the customer would be like, why on earth are you doing that? That's a waste. Luis, that all gets at business results. And sometimes the customer experience world isn't viewed as being as focused on, well, the business results as we should be. How have you seen the delivery of customer experience influence business results?
Yeah, I think that has changed though over the last years. In my experience, at the start of my career, the contact center was viewed largely as a cost center. I
Hmm.
think over the last maybe 10 years, the paradigm has changed, because CX can be a revenue engine, right? Whether
Hmm.
companies admit it or not. In my opinion, when you reduce effort and solve problems, customer stays with you longer. They
Hmm.
buy more and cost less to support. And I've seen it firsthand, Rick. Lower repeat contacts, right? Better retention. The lower repeat contacts is huge. The faster and the better that you can resolve someone issue within one contact is huge. And better retention, right? It yields better retention, and millions saved just by fixing a few processes. In my opinion, strong experiences also protects your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Customer forgives mistakes. I've forgiven many brands mistakes when the recovery is solid, but when the recovery
Mm-hmm.
is not solid, um, I don't tend to forgive mistakes when the recovery is not solid. And in my opinion, that's where loyalty really lives.
Yeah, Luisa, it's like building up that kind of forgiveness equity. As long as you're building up that great experience for the customer, that there's a space in that drawdown of the equity that a customer can pull from. Have you talked about in that restore the relationship or the recovery of the relationship being a case where a lot of that can be built? Where have you seen that be really successful? Have you have some experiences from your past?
Yeah, we so one of the brands that I worked, which I won't mention the names, but we did have a recovery program, and it was
Mm-hmm.
more of a, you know, seeing what we could do after the fact. So it was a little bit reactive, but if you have the right approach of a from a recovery perspective, you can reach out to customers to understand where we failed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At what point did we fail? Was it at the pre-purchase side? Was it during fulfillment? Was it post-purchase? Was it, in the digital experience? And
Mm-hmm.
be able to learn from it. That's what I said. You need to have a close the loop tied to your recovery program so that you can put it to work on for your brand and for your customers because if you have a close of the loop process just to be able to check boxes, that doesn't work. That is not helping it.
Luis, I 100% agree with you. There's no value in a check the box, close the loop scenario. I've seen some airlines that have lounges, air quotes here, that are very much a check the box experience, and it does nothing to build the warmth of my equity and feeling towards that brand. However, today I'm going to invite you to stop down in the CX Passport First Class Lounge, which I know is going to be a delightful experience for you. Join me here in the First Class Lounge. We'll move quickly here and hopefully have a little bit of fun. What is a dream travel location from your past?
Oh, hands down, doing an island hop in the Philippines was the best time. And I'll tell you, the Philippine people are the best kind of people.
Tell me more about that. Why? What makes them the best kind of people?
They're so warm-hearted. They're welcoming you, and they don't have a lot, Rick, but yet they're so giving
Mm-hmm,
with
mm-hmm.
everything, and they're always with a smile. I haven't seen a Filipino person that doesn't greet me with a smile. They're truly genuine people, in my opinion.
Boy, I love that warmth there, and sure, I guarantee somebody in the entire country has had a bad day somewhere along the way. But the overall spirit, the overall smile, the overall positive approach to life. What about a dream travel location you've not been to yet?
You know what? I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and we both agree Bora Bora with the free
Ooh,
drinks for sure.
okay, yeah, there's a winning choice right there. I think, especially as we talked about being chilly, suddenly
Oh
Bora
yeah.
Bora sounds a lot better than it might have in the middle depths of summer. What is a favorite thing of yours to eat?
I'm a griller, so
Okay.
anything I can grill on. So give me a good cut of meat, and I'm really happy. My favorite, a good old river steak.
Oh yes, give me a ribeye. I actually just picked up our Christmas meat. I won't detail what it is at Costco an hour or so ago. So I too appreciate the value of a good grilled meat. What about the other way? What is something you were forced to eat growing up but you hated as a kid?
As a kid and as an adult, I might add, I can stand olives. Can stand
Really?
them. Funny enough, though, I love olive oil. I just
Okay.
don't like olives, but I love
You
olive.
Huh, I'm not sure that I've heard anybody say olives as their signature item that they just can't stand. What is it about the olive?
It's about the acidity. It's just about the taste. I think it's more the acidity because
Uh-huh.
I don't like vinegar. So I
Ah,
don't like vinegar because of the acidity. Therefore, probably don't like olive because of the acidity as well.
all comes there. Well, no olives here in the first class lounge. We will make sure that any martini that is served to you is with a twist and no olives. Sadly, though, it is time for us to leave the lounge. What is one travel item, not including your phone and not including your passport, that you will not leave home without?
That's a good one. But for me, it's a good portable charger, especially as you have your phone for an
Hmm.
extended period of time. You need a good portable charger.
Luis, I have a specific place in my backpack where my portable charger goes. So it is one of my I gotta have it items as well. Thinking back to customer experience, there's a lot of the things that you described. You've been a part of companies that did it well, that have turned it the right way. I'm thinking about today. What are companies missing in customer experience today, and how can they improve on that?
Yeah, I believe a lot of companies claim to be customer centric, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I think, some of them that are claimed they're probably on the right track, but a lot of them are not. And that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You don't have to be customer centric. Just be truthful. A lot of companies, in my opinion, miss the human side. They collect tons of data, but they don't connect it to the real emotions of the member experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you don't tie the data to a storytelling from the emotion side of it. They also make customer work too hard for whatever they want to do, either a
Mm-hmm.
purchase, a return, a refund. Self-service is often built for the company,
Yeah.
not the customer, right?
Right. Right.
And in my opinion, improvement starts with listening and removing the friction.
Okay.
Like I go back to making things simpler, right? Empowering teams to solve problems without jumping through hoops. And you can use AI, but use AI to reduce the effort,
Mm-hmm.
not hide behind AI.
Yeah. Boy, there's a lot of truth to that. Okay. Well, now, how can you specifically help companies improve in the ways that you're describing to make things simpler, to listen to the customer better, to implement AI in a way that is helpful to the customer rather than a shield for the company?
Yeah, I always like to say that I bring clarity first and I
Okay.
lead with empathy, right? I want companies that have the human side of it, but then I lead with empathy. I can walk into a messy operations and I can really truly identify what's driving, whether it is repeat contacts, where the friction lives, and
Hmm.
what changes will create the right impact. I'm super big on coaching, um, building the automation, but building it from a strategy standpoint and building processes that scale without losing kind of like the human touch. My
Hmm.
focus has always been the same. You know, you can lower the cost to serve your clients while improving customer feeling at the same time. Those two things can coexist if you look at it that way when you
Yeah.
build the right system behind it.
Okay. The clarity that you're describing is certainly something that process element of it, the customer oriented element of it, that's very appealing, and I can see why a company would want to bring that in, especially when you're describing that it ties to business results. So, Luis, what's next for you? What's next with customer experience?
I am really looking for the right team to join and a
Hmm.
brand where I can truly build something meaningful again.
Hmm.
Um, I am I have strong cultural values. So a place that values people, you
Okay.
know, data and innovation more than anything, right? Whether that is in e-commerce, subscription, healthcare. I am a industry agnostic in that way. I
Hmm.
want to help a company grow and remove the friction um, that creates experiences that people actually enjoy. That's where my next chapter is.
Okay. This sounds like a great next chapter. I'm looking forward to you being able to write that next chapter, and I'm definitely looking forward to the CX Passport audience helping you write that next chapter. If folks wanted to get to know a little bit more about you or help write that next chapter or build networks with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, I'm a LinkedIn fanatic, and I lived in LinkedIn, live and breathe LinkedIn. So you can find me at LinkedIn as Luis Carrillo, CX strategist. I am there. Please connect with me. I'll be happy to connect with anybody.
That's awesome. Well, I will get that in the show notes. As always, folks, you don't even have to hit pause. Just scroll down, click the link, and start that conversation with Luis. Luis, I've enjoyed the conversation today, both what attracted you to customer experience, and then more specifically, how can you help customer experience and companies do customer experience better, all with the eye towards how can that influence actual business results. Luis, it was a delight for me today. Thank you for being on CX Passport.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you, Rick, for the invite.
Thanks for joining us this week on CX Passport. If you like today's episode, I have 3 quick next steps for you. Click subscribe on the CX Passport YouTube channel or your favorite podcast app. Next, leave a comment below the video or a review in your favorite podcast app so others can find and enjoy CX Passport too. Then head over to cxpassport.com for show notes and resources that can help you create tangible business results by delivering great customer experience. Until next time, I'm Rick Denton, and I believe the best meals are served outside and require a passport.